Welcome to Big Daddy Storytime. We're reading Disney's 5-minute Pixar stories. Up, badge building. Russell loved collecting badges. There was just one tiny problem. There weren't enough. But that was about to change. Okay, Campmaster Scrouch began. This is your chance to go down in Wilderness Explorer history. Each troop has been asked to submit a new Wilderness Explorer badge idea, and we'll hold a contest in 2 weeks to enter. Provide a description of your badge and an image of it will look like and proof that you have completed the work required to earn that badge. Russell's face lifted up. A chance to earn a badge that he invented himself? He had to win this contest. Russell couldn't wait to get started, but he also wasn't sure what kind of badge to design. "What do you think?" Russell asked Carl and Doug later that day. "There are so many choices. I could take care of a rescue animal or build a birdhouse or. Doug pushed a book over to Russell with his nose. Russell said, looking at the book. Pathology? It means finding bones, Carl explained. "Oh, bones!" Doug cried, panting happily. "I know where bones are." Russell looked at Carl and shrugged. Pathology did seem interesting. "Okay, Doug," he said. Pathology it is." Russell started right away on his new Wilderness Explorer badge idea. First, he did his research. He learned that looking for bones was called doing a dig, and that the bones were called fossils. The next day, he learned what went into preparing for a dig, what tools he would need, and how scientists determined the age of those fossils they found. Finally, he was ready to stage his own dig. "Okay, Doug," Russell said, "lead the way." Doug led Russell and Carl to the local park. "Here," he said, "find the bone. Find the bone. Find the bone." Doug," Russell started. "Are you sure this is a playground?" Doug enthusiastically wagged his tail. Wag, 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 wag. "Bones are here. I have found the bones." Russell still wasn't sure, but he decided to trust Doug. He and Carl carried their equipment over to a large oak tree and began to dig. Dig, dig, dig. A few minutes later, Russell spotted something in the ground. "Hey!" he shouted. "Doug was right. There are bones here." Russell knelt down and brushed the dirt away. Ever so carefully, he pulled the bone from the ground. "Doug," he said, "this isn't a fossil. This is one of your bones." Doug happily spun around in circles. "I'm a good tracker. I have found the bones." Carl laughed. "Well, we did tell him we were looking for bones." Russell sat down on a bench and put his head in his hands. "Now what am I going to do?" he asked. "I can't dig up the whole city looking for fossils." Carl sat down next to Russell. "No, probably not," he said. "I don't think those old fuzz badges at town hall would like it either, or if you kept it. Dug digging holes in their city. Pathology is a great idea for a badge, but maybe it should wait until you have the time to do it right. There must be something else you could try." Russell knew Carl was right. He may have lost some time, but he hadn't lost his determination to win. Go, go. Now he just needed to figure out a new badge. Russell came up with an idea after idea, but nothing seemed right. Astronomy was interesting, but he didn't have time to properly track the stars. He thought about farming or agriculture, but he couldn't raise livestock in the city, and besides, Doug had eaten all his seeds. Carl considered building a robot, but all the robotics books were checked out of the library. And detective work sounded exciting, but try as they might, Russell and Doug couldn't find anything to investigate. "You know," Carl said, "maybe none of those are working because they don't mean anything to you. Is there anything you really want to learn about?" Russell said. pulling a chocolate bar out of his pocket and taking a bite. I'm not sure. We have never solved a mystery or built a robot, but that, Carl said, pointing at Russell's chocolate bar, is something we know you are interested in. Mr. Fredrickson, you're a genius, Russell cheered. I love chocolate more than anything in the world. The next day, Carl picked up Russell and Doug, and the three made their way to a local bakery. This is Roger, Carl said, introducing Russell to the owner of the shop, who happened to be a baker and a chocolatier. It just so happens that Roger knows everything there is to know about chocolate, and he owes me a favor. Roger shook his head. Roger shook Russell's hand. Then he handed Russell and Carl their very own aprons and chef's hats. These, you'll need these, he said. Come on back. I hope you don't mind getting a little messy. All morning, Roger taught Russell about making chocolate. Russell learned about how that chocolate started out with a cocoa bean. The bean was roasted and crushed before being mixed with things like sugar, vanilla, and milk. He even got to try mixing the ingredients together to make his own chocolate. Wow! Then came the really fun part. Using the chocolate they had made together, Roger taught Russell, Carl, and Doug how to make all sorts of different desserts, from chocolate cupcakes with chocolate frosting to chocolate cream pie. Mmm. Even better, Russell got to taste everything as they baked. No chocolate for me, Doug said, just bones. The next day was the contest. Russell looked around at his competition. Everyone had come up with great ideas. There was a woodworking badge, a roller coaster design badge, a movie making badge, and even a badge called the Night Owl. Earning that one meant staying up all night to find and identify nocturnal animals. Finally, it was Russell's turn to present his badge. I call it the Chocolate Lover's Badge, he said. In order to earn it, you have to learn how chocolate is made, make your own batch, and make 3 different chocolate desserts. It certainly looks tasty, Campmaster Strouch said. Campmaster Strouch walked around the room looking at all the entries and then moved to the front of the room to announce the winner. Carl put his hand on Russell's shoulder. You did good, he said, next to Russell. Doug wagged his tail. Win the badge, he said happily. Russell cut into a piece of chocolate pie and took a bite. Mmm, is that good, he said. Thank you both for helping me. Just then, there was a cheer from across the room. The roller coaster badge had won. Carl clapped Russell on his shoulder. I'm proud of you anyway, and you should be proud too. You know, it's funny, Russell said. All I wanted was to win, but now that I've lost, I don't feel so bad about it. I got to learn all about something I love with you, and that's worth way more than winning a contest. Besides, building a roller coaster sounds like fun. I can't wait to earn that badge. What have we learned together, my friends? We learned from Russell and his family and friends that sometimes the best ideas are the sweet ideas. Have a great and happy day, my friends. Be sure to like, favorite, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more Big Daddy Storytime. God bless.